Tristan Thompson got caught cheating during the playoffs. In 2018, TMZ released footage of Tristan Thompson with multiple women just days before his girlfriend Khloe Kardashian gave birth. The timing was brutal. The Cavs were in the playoffs. The media circus exploded. Kardashian fans attacked. NBA fans mocked. Then came the memes. Tristan's numbers dropped. His image tanked. And this wasn't the last time. More scandals followed. For years, Tristan was better known for gossip than rebounds. It wasn't a legal scandal, but in the NBA's world of cameras and clicks, it might have been worse. Matt Barnes drove across California to fight his ex-wife's new man. In 2015, Matt Barnes found out his ex-wife was dating his former teammate, Derek Fisher. Barnes snapped. He drove 90 miles to confront them. A fight broke out. No charges were filed. But the story went viral. Fisher was coaching the Knicks. Barnes was still playing. It blurred lines between personal and professional. The league tried to downplay it, but the message was clear. Off-court drama could explode into real conflict, and sometimes it wasn't Twitter beef, it was fists. Tony Parker was accused of texting his teammate's wife, then got sued. In 2010, Tony Parker and actress Eva Longoria split. But the drama got deeper. Teammate Brent Barry's wife claimed Tony sent her hundreds of texts. It was never proven physical, but the fallout was real. The Barrys divorced. Parker and Longoria divorced. Brent never publicly confronted Tony, but their chemistry vanished. The Spurs, a model franchise, suddenly had tabloid heat. It didn't break their dynasty, but for a moment, even San Antonio wasn't safe from scandal. What happens off the court always finds its way on. Andre Blatcher was caught in a hotel during a police sting. In 2007, Wizards rookie Andre Blatch got arrested during a police prostitution sting. He was only 20, but the girl he allegedly approached was just 16, part of an undercover operation. Charges were later dropped. He called it a mistake. The team benched him briefly. The league stayed quiet. Blatch eventually played 8 seasons, then starred in China. But the incident never fully left him. It wasn't a headline story, but it showed how fast careers can unravel from one decision, especially when cameras and cops are watching. Chris Anderson lost his NBA spot because he was framed. In 2012, Birdman Chris Anderson was cut from the Nuggets. His home was raided in a child exploitation investigation. Everyone assumed guilt, but the truth? He was framed. A woman in Canada had impersonated both him and an underage girl online, tricking them both. Anderson was cleared, but the damage was done. Sponsors left. Teams hesitated. Eventually, he returned and won a title with the Heat. But for a full year, he lived under suspicion for a crime he didn't commit. In the NBA, false scandals can destroy as fast as real ones. Ronnie Seikaly made millions, then appeared in the Panama Papers. Ronnie Seikaly played 11 years in the NBA. After retirement, he became a world-traveling DJ and real estate investor. But in 2016, his name surfaced in the Panama Papers leak, a massive list of wealthy elites tied to offshore accounts. Seikaly denied wrongdoing. He said it was legal, just private. But the NBA had rarely seen one of its former stars connected to global finance secrecy. No charges were filed. But the headlines reminded fans, scandals don't always involve crime. Sometimes they involve hiding money in plain sight. Hamed Haddadi signed with the NBA during U.S. sanctions on Iran. In 2008, Memphis signed Iranian center Hamed Haddadi. But there was a problem. U.S. sanctions banned business with Iranian citizens. The NBA needed special government approval just to let him sign. Haddadi never said much publicly, but every contract, every payment was monitored. It wasn't his fault, but he became a symbol of politics bleeding into sports. He played 5 seasons, quiet, consistent. But behind the scenes, every step was a legal obstacle. The NBA sells itself as global, but Haddadi's case proved geopolitics still calls the shots. Terrence Williams scammed the NBA's healthcare plan for millions. In 2021, former lottery pick Terrence Williams was charged with running a criminal ring. The crime? Healthcare fraud. He recruited over a dozen ex-NBA players to file fake medical claims, pocketing cash for procedures that never happened. Some forms were forged. Some dates didn't match. The feds caught it. Williams pled guilty and was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison. It was the first NBA-wide fraud scandal of its kind. A blueprint of how stars, after the spotlight fades, might turn to scams to keep the lifestyle going. Darius Miles forgot his loaded gun at airport security. In 2011, Darius Miles was arrested at Lambert Airport in St. Louis. TSA found a loaded gun in his carry-on bag. No threats, no intent, just negligence. But the law didn't care. He was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm and released on bond. Miles had been out of the NBA since 2009. Once a top prospect, his career had faded. The airport arrest didn't help. The NBA tries to protect its brand. But stories like this show, even after the cameras fade, the decisions still matter. Sebastian Telfair kept getting caught with weapons, weed, and bad decisions. Sebastian Telfair came into the league with hype, a high school phenom, cousin of Stephon Marbury, but his off-court life unraveled fast. In 2007, he was caught with a loaded gun in a pillowcase. In 2017, again, this time with multiple firearms, a bulletproof vest, and weed in his car. He was convicted and sentenced to prison. Once seen as a future all-star, Telfair became a cautionary tale. Not for one bad moment, but for many. The league never made a headline of it, but his story quietly echoed. Potential doesn't protect you from the law. In 2024, Raptors forward Jontay Porter was banned from the NBA for life. Why? Betting. He gave insider info to gamblers. Worse, he left games early, faking injury, to help their bets hit. The NBA investigated and confirmed it. It was the harshest penalty since Tim Donaghy. Porter never had a major career, but his scandal rocked the league's image. In a world where sports betting is legal, this case proved the danger was still real. And now, the NBA has zero tolerance for players crossing the line. Ruben Patterson called himself the Kobe Stopper, but off the court, his name carried darker weight. In 2000, he pled guilty to attempted rape of his children's nanny. He became a registered sex offender. Still, he played 8 more NBA seasons. Teams signed him. Fans booed him. But the league never banned him. Patterson had talent, but no redemption arc. His case raised tough questions. Where's the line between punishment and profit? And what does the league ignore when the player helps win? Javaris Crittenton went from NBA promise to prison for murder. Javaris Crittenton once shared a locker room with Kobe Bryant. Drafted in 2007, he had speed and potential. But off the court, everything unraveled. After the 2009 gun incident with Gilbert Arenas, his NBA career stalled. Then in 2011, he was arrested for murder. A woman was shot in Atlanta, caught in the crossfire of a gang-related retaliation. Crittenton pled guilty to manslaughter and is serving 23 years in prison. His story isn't just a fall, it's a transformation, from prospect to convicted killer. No scandal in NBA history ended darker. Tony Roten once dropped 30 in an NBA game, but in 2021, he was arrested for defrauding the NBA's health and welfare plan. He filed fake invoices for root canals and crowns at clinics that said he never came. The total, over $400,000. He wasn't alone. The FBI named 18 former players. Roten pled guilty. It wasn't violent, but it was deliberate. It showed how fast ex-players can turn from highlight reels to headlines. and how even small lies, if repeated, can bring down careers. Jeffrey Taylor assaulted his girlfriend, then kept playing overseas. In 2014, Hornets forward Jeffrey Taylor was arrested in Michigan for assaulting his girlfriend. He pushed her, slammed a hotel room door, then assaulted a hotel employee. He pled guilty and was suspended 24 games by the NBA. Taylor quietly left the league and kept playing in Europe, Sweden, Spain. But the story was buried. It didn't go viral. No documentaries, just another name, quietly erased. In a league trying to market family-friendly values, Taylor's case was one the NBA moved past, without ever really addressing.